Noteshelf 3 is a great alternative for anyone running away from the subscriptions you get with GoodNotes and Notability. Hey guys, it's Robsy back with Paperless X, a channel dedicated to easing your digital transformation. If you're new to our channel, hello. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know each time we release a new video. And if you're already subscribed, fantastic human, welcome back. Noteshelf 3 is the latest version of Noteshelf, a handwriting note-taking app by Fluid Touch Private Limited. We love that it is now available to try out for free to see if you like it before purchasing. Noteshelf 3 is available on the iPad, iPhone, and Mac for $7.99, a universal one-time purchase. So, to get it on all your devices, you only need to pay $7.99. That is probably the main reason to love Noteshelf 3 for most of us. When other note-taking apps are going subscription, there are still some brilliant apps that are a lifetime purchase. We hope Android and Windows versions of the app will also get Noteshelf 3 soon. Creating new notebooks is very easy in Noteshelf 3. We love how they've minimized the page options for the basic templates in the app. Your page colors, line spacing options, orientation, and templates are readily available. Page size options are not very intuitive though. It will be easier to have them with the other page options. Noteshelf also doesn't have a huge range of page sizes. Which can be limiting for some. The app has covers for your notebooks and we love that there is an option to not use them. For me, covers are just a distraction. If these covers are not good enough for you, you can import your own from Unsplash, your photos library, or take one with your iPad camera. After naming your new notebook and locking it if you like, you can start taking notes. More templates are now readily available on the home page. We no longer need to join the Noteshelf Club to access these lovely templates, and we love that. We appreciate how easy it is to use these templates now. It's definitely better than what we had in Noteshelf 2. While page templates are great to have in a note-taking app, what matters most is adding custom templates to the app's library. If none of the templates in the app work for you, you can import whole PDFs into the app. We love that because we prefer using our digital notebooks in all note-taking apps. It's a bit annoying that the app creates a notebook each time you import a new template. Since you probably have to do this once, we thought to let it slide. It would be better though if we could just add custom templates to the app's library without being forced to create a new notebook. Noteshelf has always had a minimalist look, so they didn't have to remove the status bar. We like tracking our dates, time, and battery levels when working in any productivity app. Noteshelf 2 didn't look as modern, but it was quite minimalist, wasn't it? The gap above the toolbar looks terrible. Toolbars are best anchored to the edge of the screen. And we're the only ones who feel like that. On the bright side, we can now customize the main toolbar. At its most minimalist, the app has no middle toolbar, and it looks pretty cool. The toolbar should continue growing as long as we keep adding more tools to cover the whole width of the iPad screen. Unfortunately, after the 9th tool, you'll be forced to scroll to reach the other tools on the toolbar. I tried to customize the toolbar to add only the features I use when taking notes, and it turned out that 9 tools are enough. So this is awesome for minimalists, but not so much for those who are not. Though the developers have shortened the toolbar, they have given us the power to choose only what we need. We can even move around the tools to decide where the tools go, and that makes Noteshelf 3's new toolbar amazing. The app has 2 pen types and a pencil tool. Both the felt and ballpoint pens are ballpoint pens with different opacities that feel and look pretty much the same. Their differences are negligible at best. The ballpoint pen in Noteshelf 3 is the best ballpoint pen you'll get in a note-taking app on the iPad. I can't stand ballpoint pens in any app, but the one in Noteshelf 3 is quite usable. I don't mind it at all. The calligraphy pen is labeled fountain, but it is definitely not a fountain pen. What say you? Pen sizes are no longer fixed, but they still max at 8 with a range from 0 to 8. Shockingly, you can only have 3 pen sizes on the sidebar that pops up when you're using the pen tools. Developers shouldn't be limiting the number of pen sizes readily available on our toolbars. More is always better, especially when there is so much space to accommodate more thicknesses. Though we tend to mostly use a few pen thicknesses, occasionally we do need a 4th or 5th pen thickness, and replacing one of our common 3 tools is never ideal. I never remember the pen thicknesses that I use in a note-taking app, so it's always very difficult to replace one of them. Custom colors are now also difficult to use in Noteshelf 3. In Noteshelf 2, colors were plenty and fun. Each pen has a unique set of 3 colors that you can change. If you use all 3 pens, you'll need to customize each color palette for the different pens. A global color palette for pen tools would be better because it will be less work. A color palette is a color palette regardless of the pen type you are using. The grid is the worst for picking custom colors. Wheels and sliders are better. A hex code is for advanced users, and a color picker only works when you already have some notes in your notebook. 3 pen thicknesses and colors on a toolbar are not enough for basic note taking. For someone who likes using a lot of colors in my notes, working with the new toolbar in Noteshelf 3 has been a painful experience, especially when using different colors in my notes. Every note-taking app must have a pencil tool, so we're happy to see one in Noteshelf 3. The only problem is that it seems to be using raster ink. The limited zoom range on the pages makes it difficult to confirm this, but we are pretty convinced it's raster ink. The favorites toolbar is gone. Yes, that amazing toolbar where we could save tens of our favorite pen tools is no longer available in the app. Noteshelf 3 has 2 types of highlighters that go in front of your ink when you use dark colors. With a lighter color, it's difficult to see the ink dimming effect of the highlighter tool though. It only changes color the more you layer them. But the dimming and color changes both need a lot of layers that are not practical for everyday use of the app. The highlighter tool has a thickness range of 1 to 6, and you can pick any size within that range. Like your pen tools, you're limited to 3 colors and thicknesses on your toolbar. For a highlighter tool, it's probably enough. You can highlight freely or in straight lines if you prefer neater notes. The default eraser in Noteshelf 3 erases per pixel. It still has 3 fixed sizes with an option for auto sizing, though the range on the auto eraser is tiny. It feels like it stays about the same size when you're using it. You can also erase per stroke or choose to erase specific items only. Like you can erase just the highlighter or just the pencil. We love a selective eraser any day. The zoom tool in Noteshelf 3 has a wider range than directly zooming in on the page. It supports Auto Advance, which works quite well and is easy to follow and understand. But we were expecting the window to start by the margin, which it consistently does not. Line spacing and margins help when you're writing on plain paper. You can switch the buttons on the keyboard, and we love that your writing tools are within reach. Typically, we ignore features that are in beta, but Noteshelf AI is the biggest feature the developers added to Noteshelf 3. It makes no sense ignoring this feature. While we're at that, can developers stop adding beta features to apps? Is that too much to ask for? The generative AI in Noteshelf 3 helps you generate notes faster. Simply type what you want to learn about, and voila! We now have ChatGPT in a note-taking app. You can add your responses as text or as handwriting. And if you're curious to know the best practices for this, we have covered that on our website. and we will link that article in the description down below. During this recording session, however, we couldn't search what we wanted. The AI seemed to be having a mind of its own. I guess probably that's why this feature is still in beta. The AI tool also summarizes your notes from PDFs and handwritten notes by indexing them. That is where we draw the line. We have no problem with ChatGPT giving us notes. We could potentially appreciate that use case. However, when the app indexes our notes to make summaries out of them, we start asking questions. First of all, we appreciate the type of AI they brought into the app without costing us an arm and a leg. We really ought to appreciate that because things could be worse. Secondly, the fact that the developers are using ChatGPT means that we know they're not harvesting our information. We trust developers who are not trying to harvest our information on their servers. Does a note-taking app really need AI tools, especially a handwriting note-taking app? If ChatGPT gave responses that are 100% accurate, we wouldn't worry about it much. However, it doesn't always give accurate information. Noteshelf 3 is less than 3 months old and there is no way the AI has any information on it, right? Yet, when you ask questions about Noteshelf 3, ChatGPT will still give you a response on it. I took the liberty to highlight all the inaccurate information the AI generated. Given how unreliable the technology is, should developers be adding it to their productivity apps? Let us know what you think. The last feature we get with Noteshelf AI is the ability to translate our notes, which can be quite handy. We already have Translate in iPadOS 17 though. Wouldn't it have been better to integrate that one? We are curious to know how much of our notes the AI is indexing. Does it really index just the notes we let it or everything in the app just in case we might need to use it sometime later on down the line in the future? The last thing to note about AI is the handwriting it uses. It's nothing like how your handwriting looks, but at least it is consistent. The Noteshelf developers say the AI tool was never intended to match the handwriting of the user. That is why they have provided the option to add text. Both are not great options for me, but that's just a personal preference. Let us know what you think about generative AI in note-taking apps. Should we embrace or fight it? Noteshelf 3 adds your text to invisible text boxes or colorful sticky notes that can be any color you want. The app has plenty of fonts and it supports custom fonts, which is exactly what you'd expect from a note-taking app in 2023. The new text customization window is better than what we had in Noteshelf 2, and we love it. It's easy to change the font size, text alignment, line spacing, and color of your text. Custom colors are a lot harder to use though, and that is frustrating because this seems like a consistent feature throughout the app. You can make your text bold, italic, underlined, or strike out. You can also set your changes as default for all the notebooks you create in the app or just this notebook you're currently working on. That helps because you don't have to keep customizing your text if you know you're going to be using the same one. We've always loved the favorite text styles in Noteshelf, And we're happy they didn't remove them in Noteshelf 3. We love how easy it is to create new ones or delete the ones you don't like anymore. It would be better if we could edit the default presets, but deleting them would work just as well. We still have 2 numbering or bullet point options. We were hoping to get more, but half a loaf is better than none. The checklists are also the same in Noteshelf 3 as they were in Noteshelf 2. They don't strike out or dim completed items. We can live with it though, because text is great to have, but we don't use it much. So we'll appreciate whatever we get. You can draw shapes with the pen and highlighter tools. The app supports regular and irregular shapes. But to draw arrows and perfect regular shapes, you'll definitely need the Shapes tool. Noteshelf 3 can adjust shapes that you've drawn and change their border color. But we still don't have any autofill options in the app. We can't draw curves either. So the Shapes tool in Noteshelf 3 is very basic, and if you use a lot of shapes in your notes, you might not like that. We love how the app has grouped everything you can add under the plus icon. When you want to add anything in an app, a plus icon is the most intuitive thing to look for. You can add photos or take some with your iPad camera. Noteshelf 3 no longer limits the number of photos you can add in one go, but the app adds massive photos that are difficult to work with. The app supports PNG images. It'll probably be surprising to find a note-taking app that doesn't support PNG images in 2023. Rotating images in Noteshelf has always been fun. You can also crop your images as a rectangle or freely. We've not seen a handwriting note-taking app that can erase parts of your photos though. Locking images is also unique to Noteshelf. It prevents the image from moving around or you making any changes to it. You can put your images on the front or back of your handwritten notes and other items on the page. Noteshelf 3 also lets you add stock images from Pixabay or Unsplash without leaving the app. We love the app for it because it is such a convenient way to work. Since the launch of the first version of Noteshelf, emojis have always been my favorite tool. We now have stickers too, which behave more like images than emojis. Even though we can download more stickers from the homepage, the variety is still small. We hope in the future we'll be able to add custom stickers to this collection, that will get a way to import stickers we've purchased elsewhere. Audio recording in Noteshelf 3 hasn't improved at all. It's disappointing to see that the developers have neglected this feature for so long. In 2023, audio recordings should sync to at least the handwritten notes on the page. We're also tired of the audio icons the app adds to the pages, even if we can move them around. The expanded playback timeline does not look good floating in the middle of the page like that. At least we can rename our recordings and change the playback speed. Not very exciting though. We hope the developers can give the audio recording tool some much needed attention. Web clips are screenshots of a web page. Usually the idea is to go back to them, but that is not the case in Noteshelf 3. Editing a clip only takes you to the tool without any options to go to the web page. This made us think that perhaps web clips serve a different purpose. Let us know what you use web clips for. The Lasso tool in Noteshelf 3 is now selective to pick specific items on the page. Handwriting, text boxes, photos, shapes, or any combination you want. Photos include emojis and stickers, but not web clips. It can also pick up almost everything on the page, except web clips. You can then resize and rotate the selection, or take a screenshot of it to share it out of the app. For handwriting, you can also change the color of your ink. You can move the selection in front of or to the back of other items on the page. Unfortunately, we still can't move our selections across pages in the same notebook. That is quite limiting for a note-taking app because workarounds are not fun. Noteshelf converts your handwriting to text in so many languages. Only Nebo offers more languages than Noteshelf 3, and that is very impressive. You can edit any conversion errors in the preview window. And you can add custom words to the dictionary. That helps a lot, but adding one word at a time is a lot of work. Your text font can either be the default size according to your text tool, or it can match the selection, which means your handwriting will determine the size. We love that the conversion keeps the ink color. It makes sense, doesn't it? You can view all the pages in your notebook, but the thumbnails are too big. It helps to open them in full screen, and even then, they're still quite big. But it makes sense in full screen mode. You can also see all the different items you add to your notes: recordings, photos, stickers, web links. So in Noteshelf 3, You can use this to navigate your pages in the app. And that is very cool. We love it. You can also see your bookmarks. Bookmarks in Noteshelf have always been brilliant with colors and names. And we love that the app differentiates them from outlines. Sadly, the app only recognizes outlines in PDFs that have them without letting us create custom outlines. The thumbnails in the outlines don't look great. An outline should be compact with just headings so that at least we can fit more headings or more items on the screen. Adding new pages to your notebook is very easy. You can add a page before the first one or after the last one. Noteshelf 3 gives you options to customize your new page if you need to. So the app supports multiple page templates for a single notebook. You can even import PDFs if you need to. Pages are easy to duplicate and delete. Rotating pages does not rotate your notes. That is the worst kind of rotation to have in a note-taking app. The app supports vertical and horizontal scrolling. An app should have both. You can also get into full screen mode for distraction-free reading. Minimalists will love this because you can continue annotating your PDFs in this mode. And we love how easy it is to bring back the toolbars when you need them. We can now access all our notebooks in the app from within the notebook. We've become used to going back to the home page to open new notebooks, but it's a tedious workflow. So we appreciate what the developers have done in Noteshelf 3. Searching in Noteshelf 3 highlights the search terms in your documents. The app also lists the pages where your search terms have been found. So you can go through them to find what you're looking for. You can also search through both text and handwriting without a problem. Universal Search searches through all your notebooks and document titles, as well as their contents. We expect nothing less in 2023. Multitasking with multiple instances can open the same notebook twice. That is all the multitasking you get in Noteshelf 3. The app has no tabs or any other in-app split view of any kind. It has one of the most basic multitasking capabilities we have seen in a handwriting note-taking app. We were hoping to get drag and drop out of the app, but it seems we must keep waiting for the feature to come to the app. Scribble works for real-time, instant handwriting conversion. Switching between dark mode and light mode does not automatically change your paper and ink. So Noteshelf 3 does not have true dark mode. You can also scan pages into the app using the iPadOS scanning engine. And we have covered how to use that on your iPad on Paperless Humans. Presentation mode in Noteshelf 3 is unique. It doesn't automatically hide the user interface, but given how minimalist the app is, that is probably not necessary. You get a red laser pointer and a trail pointer with 3 colors. The trail pointer in Noteshelf 3 is permanent until you clear all its annotations. We're always happy when we can export our notes out of an app because we don't feel trapped. Noteshelf 3 does that without a problem, so if you ever want to share your notes with other people, you can do that. You can export your notes as images, PDFs, or in native Noteshelf format. You can even publish them to Evernote, which can help you access your notes on Android and Windows. However, exporting your notes out of the app means you lose all the app's capabilities. What is better to have in a note-taking app is collaboration, so that we can work with other people without leaving our preferred apps. Makes sense, right? Noteshelf 3 organizes your notes into folders and tags. The app supports an infinite number of folders within folders. Typically, child folders all go below their parent folders. In this case, they should be on the sidebar. The organization in Noteshelf is confusing. You also get a favorites folder. The recycle bin keeps your notes until you permanently delete them. We are happy to finally see tags in the app that are universal for both notebooks and pages. The app simply lists all your tags. Once you've added them, they're easy to navigate. You can also see the different types of content in your notes. Finding what you need in the app has never been easier. Noteshelf 3 also locks your notebooks with a password. If you have some sensitive information you'd like to keep safe, the app's got you covered. The only problem is that you have to create a password for each notebook you want to lock. Centralizing this process would be a lot easier. All things considered, we are happy to have the locking option in the app to start with. You can sync your notes across devices using iCloud. The app also auto backs up to Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, and WebDAV. You can also create a manual backup that you can store anywhere you want. Noteshelf 3 is a great note-taking app with a lot to offer. Syncing with Android and Windows is difficult and will cost you the Evernote subscription, but it's not impossible. Noteshelf 3 is a great alternative for anyone running away from the subscriptions you get with GoodNotes and Notability. We do not hesitate to recommend the app. We do hope, however, that the developers work towards making the app more stable, unless if we're the only ones that are being affected by all them bugs. What do you guys think about Noteshelf 3? Let us know in the comment section. We hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Thank you, Fantastic Human, for watching. See you in the next video.